Hey guys, Kyle, the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for One Piece episode 911. And yeah, I know this one is supposed to be up. I already said episode 911, but I went back and I realized I kind of screwed up with the with the episode things, but with the episode numbers. So I went back and changed them all, and then so yeah, this one it's technically episode 912, but I'm reviewing it as episode 911 because I completely forgot about the romance dawn thing I skipped reviewing. So yeah, this is technically episode 911 I'm reviewing, but yeah. Um, but ooh boy, this was an episode. uh, okay, so I'm gonna start everyone off small by saying the episode wastes no time in giving us the reveal that Ashura Doji and Shuten Maru are the same person, and that's the more obvious part of the reveal. But revisiting this material makes me realize that yes, on the surface, he often on the surface of it all, when we first see him, like Shuten Maru, he acts like a scumbag, but if you think about it, changing his name and returning to his life as a bandit was really the only way he could survive in a world that basically despises the Prince Kozuki name. And if Orochi had gotten wind he was alive as one of Odin's retainers, then Orochi would have executed him on the spot, and he probably wouldn't have been able to survive as much. I also bring this up because it does add to the fact that Denjiro is also probably doing the same. He's probably in hiding, changed his name and whatnot, but the bigger but probably even taken a step further and tried to change his appearance. Now, the bigger question of what name and identity he's assumed is another question entirely, and it's it's one of those things where it's possible we've met him already, but it's also one of those things where until we actually get until we actually get the reveal itself, it's like it's not going to do us any good. Um, so yeah, yeah, Denjiro is still like the one person we don't know where he is or what kind of identity he's assumed, if any. But yeah, but let's not dwell on that too much because let's get to the major thing of this episode. And so obviously the main attraction of this episode is that Kaido basically transforms into a motherfucking dragon and basically rampages drunk through and is about to rampage drunk through Wano in order to find like pretty much Law and Luffy. And it's not only just a hype moment as it's not only just as hype as when I read this in the manga. In fact, honestly, to the anime's credit, the build up we get of the actual reveal is kind of it makes the reveal even better than in the manga in my opinion, but just slightly, but yeah, I think the fact that it was hyped up and built up so much throughout the episode is in the latter half of the episode does kind of make the actual reveal a little better, to be honest with you. Um, but anyway, for those who have not read the manga and are unclear about what's about to transpire, let me fill you in by saying you are about to get a very brief round one of a confrontation that was heavily teased in the opening. And again, a lot of ways, the fact that Kaido is drunk, something that was initially came across as humorously dark, now makes it all the more terrifying because again, everything that happened near the tail end of this episode is like game over, man, game over. It is a giant ass game over for our heroes. They are screwed beyond belief. Like Kaido, a motherfucking dragon, came down with the thunderclap and he's about to wreck our heroes. Like if you like Luffy, if he honestly, again, I read the manga, so I know what happens. But I will say, if Luffy thinks he can take on that, as he is now, he's kidding himself, majorly kidding himself. It's game over. That's all I can say. It is mother effing game over for our heroes, beyond belief, like legitimately. Oh my god. Yeah. What an epic. Yeah, but yeah, Kaido the Dragon. We're yeah, we're they're screwed. That's all I can say. They're screwed. Um, and yeah, obviously this episode gives Shuten Maru, and obviously the other thing with this episode is it gives us Shuten Maru versus Jack, and the fight in itself was a pretty epic brawl. Animation of the actual fight though was decent enough, but you could also tell that they were definitely playing it a little safe in order to save up, in order to put a lot more of the effort towards the pretty much again the reveal of Kaido. But yeah, so in that regard, you can tell that it was good. It was decent enough animation for of the fight of Shuten Maru versus Jack, but yeah, again, you could tell they were playing it safe for the Kaido greatness. Okay, let's yeah. I think the best moment in the fight itself though was when Shutamaru was deflecting Jack's like wind blasts or whatever he was doing or whatever the hell he was deflecting. Those scenes of him deflecting those wind slashes were legit hype. Um, one important detail I think to take away from this fight too is that we get an even better sense of how powerful Odin's retainers allies were than when we were introduced to like Kinemon and the others. I mean, don't get me wrong. The all the others like Kinemon, Raizo, and basically Conjure, all of them, it's pretty much all proven how strong they are in their own right. But the important thing with this particular fight, like of Shuten Maru versus Jack, the important thing to take away from this fight in itself is it gives us an idea how the Kozuki family retainers actually stack up against Kaido's forces. I think that's the important thing to take away from this fight because it's obviously been built up that pretty much all the that Odin himself was basically strong, but finally getting Shuten Maru versus Jack, it gives us an idea of the kind of people that pretty much Odin had surrounded himself with, and how powerful his retainers actually were. Which yeah, it's definitely showcased that yeah that they are legitimately no pushovers, and in some ways I think it also shows that we probably haven't seen like the full capabilities of what basically Kinemon, Raizo, and Kanjuro can even do. Like I get the feeling after seeing the fight of Shuten Maru versus Raizo that we haven't even seen like the full extent of what they themselves can do. Now, now another thing. Now another thing with this episode is that obviously there was a small little like there's a small moment of basically of when Shuten Maru is getting himself slashed and hacked up by Jack. You can see he's kind of reminiscing about Odin, and you can see that Shuten Maru himself, he is definitely a man with regrets, and he regrets at not being able to protect Odin, and with that he also still holds a lot of respect for Odin, but just the fact that he but at the same time he's also a man who, given the current situation, he's in some way, in some respects, like I said, he's hiding from Kaido and his men, but in other respects he's basically also given up. So he basically he needs a reason in order to fight on again, in order to fight against, in order to pick up the sword, in order to fight against Kaido and Orochi again. So which is which I think is gonna be is gonna be a bit of a roadblock in itself. But yeah, um, but yeah, guys, that's all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and list your Crunchyroll. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.